Misis may ano, di ba? I need to get mine.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your hosts, Melanie Balagtas and Aki Arieta.
Wow, what a wonderful performance. You guys agree? Yes, amazing. Thank you to the Cordillera Group, Philippine Dance Ensemble, and Osmond Dancers. Good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And once again, my name is Melanie Balagtas, and can I say, you all look so amazing. Are you guys excited for tonight? Yes. I just gotta take this opportunity first to compliment my co-host. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Do you guys agree? Yeah? Oh, no one said yes.
It's okay.
Is he not good looking, guys? Yes, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Philippine National Day Ball, the 124th anniversary celebration of the Philippine Independence Day.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good? All right, thank you. And thank you so much. Good dashing, as always.
Thank you.
And on this occasion of great pride and honor for the Filipino-Australian community, we would like to wish you all a happy Philippine Independence Day. Now, it is our honor to present to you the officers and directors of the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales. A round of applause, everyone. We'd like to call on first of all, our president, Mr. Cesar Bartolome. It is gone.
Let's welcome Secretary Darryl Swadley.
Our treasurer, Jess Arans.
Let's welcome our PRO, SP Pogson.
Our internal auditor, Ms. Sheila Fernandez.
Welcome immediate past president, Ulrich Boseco.
And of course, our directors, Dee Vigan.
Let's welcome Maureen Santiago.
Penny Perfecto.
Round of applause for Mercy Jones.
Mr. Dave Khan.
Let's welcome Pressy Santos.
Miss Emily Rudd.
And of course, our public officer, Serna Ladia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you again the officers and directors of the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales.
Now maybe please. All right. So allow me now to present to you the 59 affiliates of the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales. Let's thank the Upper Association of Australia,
Aguba Incorporated.
Aguman Kapampangan,
Alpha Omega Sydney Alumni Association.
Association of Filipino-Australian in Sydney,
Association of Golden Australia Filipino Incorporated.
Ateneo Alumni Association of Australia,
Australian devotees of Our Lady of Benefrancia.
Australian Filipino Business and Workers Club Incorporated,
Australian Luzon Multicultural Communities Incorporated.
Australian Mindanao Multicultural Communities Incorporated,
The Australian Philippine Association of Illawarra Incorporated.
Australian Samarinos Association of New South Wales Incorporated,
Australian Visayas Multicultural Communities Incorporated.
Banag Incorporated,
Bathurst Filipino-Australian Community Incorporated.
Bye Bye Friends Association,
Beagle Communities League Incorporated.
Campbelltown and Region Filipino Community Council Incorporated,
Eastern Visayas Educational, Scientific, Technical, and Cultural Operators.
Philippine Association of Eastern Sydney,
The Filipino-Australian Engineers Association Incorporated.
Filipino-Australian Movement for Empowerment Incorporated,
The Filipino-Australian Support Workers Association Incorporated.
Filipino Community Cooperative Limited,
The Filipino Women's Support Group, MacArthur Incorporated.
Phil-On Social Folk Club, Flag
Like home.
Pagmama,
The Illawarra Filipino Women's Group.
Ilocana Association of Australia Incorporated.
The Australian Alumni Association of Sydney, Australia.
Kalayaan Incorporated.
And Angawa Residents and Settlers Abroad.
La Paz Filipina Incorporated.
The Maharlika Writers.
My Redeemer Lives.
Arako LTD.
One Pangasinan Association of Australia New South Wales Incorporated.
The Order of Knights of Tizama.
Pangasinan Province Association of Australia.
The Philippine Australian Medical Association.
Philippine Australian Society of Senior Citizens.
Philippine Cordilleras, New South Wales.
Philippine Nurses Association.
Pozorians Down Under.
Pre-Need Advocacy Association New South Wales.
The Result Park Movement of Campbelltown.
Samar Association in Australia.
San Pedro Palansod Association.
Santo Niño Association Campbelltown.
Sydney Australian Filipino Seniors Incorporated.
Sydney Sonata Singers.
Tagalog Association, Australia Incorporated.
The Filipino Australian Consumers Incorporated.
Pagkilala Union Association.
UE Alumni Association of Australia Incorporated.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. And now may we request the representatives of the Order of the Knights of Rizal to march in the colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise and direct your attention to the Philippine and Australian flags, and please welcome Julian Irene Claire Cibala, who will sing our national anthems.
Tuyat ka ng
Thank you so much, Julian, for that very inspirational rendition of our national anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, we now exit the stage. Round of applause again, everyone, for our directors and affiliates.
You can have it.
I would like to call on Mr. Darrell Swadling, Secretary of PCC New South Wales, to do the acknowledgement of country.
Oh my gosh, I'm sad. Next to me today. Have fun, ladies. Let's go.
On behalf of PCC New South Wales, the board and affiliates, I acknowledge the Parramattagal clan and the Darug people as the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to the elders both past and present and extend that respect to any Aboriginal Australians here tonight.
That's on YouTube Live, buddy.
Lead the invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request everyone to please rise.
Lord, it was not long ago when we thought that a large gathering of friends and relatives was a distant possibility. Possibly an inconvenient reminder of the vulnerability of our human condition. And yet, by your loving grace, we are here today with friends, fellow community organizers, local business leaders, and community leaders and government leaders, celebrating life and freedom on the occasion of the 124th anniversary of the proclamation of the Philippine independence. Thank you, Lord, for blessing us with another hard-earned year, and for keeping us safe as we travel to this venue. As we begin our celebration, we dedicate this time to you. We pray for the speakers, performers, attendees, organizers, volunteers to make this event possible. We also pray that the green shoots of the Philippine economy bloom to a sustained and widespread economic growth so that the country can get back to the trajectory of an emerging Asian tiger economy. Finally, we pray that the newly elected leaders of the Philippines and Australia serve faithfully and justly. Amen.
Thank you, Jess. Happy Philippine Independence Day, Naki and everyone. We celebrate with utmost serenity and commitment as we remember and pay our respects to our Filipino pioneering forefathers for their strength.
Kalayaan is the Filipino word for freedom, and today, on the 12th of June, is the actual date of the Philippine Independence Day. In 1898, in Kawit, Cavite, General Emilio Aguinaldo proclaimed the first Philippine Independence Day. And every year thereafter, we Filipinos have celebrated this day of our Kalayaan.
Yes, and celebration tonight will not be possible without the effort of everyone in our community, led by the officers and directors of the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales and all the affiliated organizations. Congratulations to all of you.
And while the entree is being served, we will be serenaded by Julian Johnston and Nicola Carabasas. Julian's mom, Iris, is a Filipino nurse, and dad, Anthony, serves in the Australian Navy. Julian is in year 10 at Australian Performing Arts Grammar School, and he will be competing in this year's Teen Star International 2022, which will be held in Bangkok, Thailand. And this will be in July, representing Australia through RGM Promotions and Management, owned by Rox Molavin.
Oh my gosh, how exciting is that? And I also want to welcome Nicola Carabasas, which is Julian's singing partner, who is 15 years old and is in year 10 and is a student of the Australian Performing Arts Grammar School in Broadway, and also studies vocal songwriting and production in Music Artist Studio in Surrey Hills, New South Wales. Let's welcome Julian.
And Nicola.
Was I doing now that I learned all about you? So don't hate when I say that you don't do it for me anymore. Don't do it for me anymore. Money won't pay for your problems. You gotta fix them yourself. Price isn't paid, you won't solve them. Start it at first. I won't fall for your days, so don't hate me when I say that you don't do it for me anymore. No, you don't do it for me anymore. I'm sorry for honesty, I could not get to lie with you, to lie with you. I'm sorry for honesty, I'm well aware I lie with you, I lie with you. Don't do it for me. Now, I hope most of you can sing the song with me. It is a Filipino song. And yeah, so if you can sing along and you know the lyrics, hopefully you do. As my Filipino is not very good, so yeah. I walk the streets of San Francisco. I tried to rise in Disneyland. Dated a million girls in Sydney. Somehow I feel like I don't belong. Kita Manila, maginggan mong kaisarap sa tinga. Mga jeepney mo nagdiliparan, mga babae mo nagaganda. Take me back in your arms, Manila. Promise me you'll never let go. Promise me you'll never let go. Manila, Manila, I keep coming back to Manila. Simply no place like Manila. Manila, I'm coming home. Everybody! You can all sing this next part with me. All of you, ready? Sing this with me. Hinahanap, hanap kita Manila. Maginggan mong kaisarap sa tinga. Mga jeepney mo nagdiliparan, babae mo nagaganda. Take me back in your arms, Manila. Promise me you'll never let go. Promise me you'll never let go. Manila, Manila, miss you like hell, Manila. I keep coming back to Manila. I'm coming home to stay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julian and Nicola. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Julian and Nicola.
Without the leadership, direction, and vision of PCC New South Wales. And to give the welcome address, may we call Mr. Cesar Bartolome, President of PCC New South Wales.
In the middle of the anyway, how are you all doing so far? Are you all good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Philippine National Day Ball 2022 in celebration of the 124th anniversary of the Declaration of Philippine Independence. Tonight we have with us, and we would like to thank her very much, because last night I was in another function. She joined us there via video message, and we are very fortunate that we have tonight the Philippine Ambassador to the Philippines, to Australia, Her Excellency Maria Helen Barber de la Vega. We also have with us tonight the Minister for Multiculturalism, a very young fellow who is in charge of the Ministry of Seniors. Can you imagine, he's the Minister for Seniors, very young guy. The Honorable Mark Turay, MP, member for Philippine. And I would like to take this opportunity, since I'm introducing the Minister here, I would like to thank the Minister and the Multicultural New South Wales. The agency has to promote community harmony and social cohesion in one of the most culturally diverse states in the world, New South Wales. And this was since 2016. A big round of applause to the Multicultural New South Wales. And the best part of it, this year's funding, maybe the minister doesn't know, our funding for this year was recently approved. Thank you very much. And we will be holding, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Filipino-Australians, my kababayans, is coming 24th and 25th of September. Once the month of September or Bear comes in, it is Christmas. So we will be holding our Philippine Christmas Festival in spring, 24-25 September. Please mark that in your calendars. Thank you. And that will be held at the Tumbalong Park again. Tumbalong Park, Darling Park. I would like also to welcome with us tonight Mr. Kelvin Connolly, MP, our state member for Riverstone. Kelvin, a friend of the Philippine. And of course, Philippine National Day, though maybe I would say, will not happen without this guy, a very friend for a long time in the Filipino community, Dr. Kalayaan, AO. He is now a board member of the National Australia Day Council and former chair and CEO of Community Relations Commission, New South Wales. We also have with us the two consuls now manning our consulate in the absence of the Consul General. We have the head of post, Consul Manny Guzman. And Consul, the other consul in the consulate at the moment, Consul Melanie Diano. We have three councilors. Two of these are Filipino-Australians. We have two from the Blacktown City Council, Councilor Alan Green and Councilor Carol Israel. And from the neighboring Campbelltown City Council, we have our very own, traveling from Canberra with four other companions, is the President of the Filipino Communities Council of Australia, Ms. Cecilia Flores. PhilippineinAustralia is an affiliate of this national umbrella organization. We have the President of another group of Filipino associations, the Alliance of Philippine Community Organization, President Jun Salazar. Is Jun here? Jun? Our dear sponsors, community leaders, presidents of PCC-affiliated organizations, fellow community volunteers, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we celebrate a very important event in our lives as Filipinos. And for our country, the Philippines, we are celebrating our Independence Day. Although we live far from our motherland, the land where our roots came from, yet we feel so near, so close to the land that we love so much. Why? Because our country, the Philippines, will always be in our hearts. And what a great day tonight to celebrate this occasion. With all of you, my fellow Filipinos and Australians. The past 2 years have been very challenging for all of us in Australia, in the Philippines, and all over the world. The pandemic has imprisoned many of us in all different forms. Sadly, millions of people have died from this virus. And here we are now alive and thankful. But let us not forget those who did not survive. Perhaps some of us here have friends, families, who succumb from this deadly virus. After 2 long years, we are now free. Free to celebrate as a community. Free to celebrate as a people. We cherish this. And now we realize the value of independence, the value of liberty, the value of freedom. Let us cherish it well. Now that we have this opportunity to see each other, smile, and hug one another without fear. Here we realize that freedom is not just an opportunity, but a privilege, a duty. Perhaps we now understand the joy of our people when our flag was first waved in Cavite on June 12, 1898, because they felt the same freedom that we can now feel after this pandemic. You would say that their circumstance was different from ours today, but it was the same feeling, idea of fear. Fear of injustice, abuse, fear of neglect, danger, poverty, corruption, and inequality. And here we ask a very important question. After June 12, 1898, are we really free? Are we free? What makes us free? I hope and pray that we will have an opportunity tonight to reflect about the freedom of our country, for our country. As we enjoy the luxury of life here in Australia, may we not forget our fellow Filipinos back home, especially the poor and the youth. As we move like a free man, remember those who have nothing to eat, those who die because they are poor, those who cannot study because they cannot afford, those who were abused because they have no power. Tonight, I encourage you to look at our fears. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid to be lonely? Are we afraid that we will never reach? Once we find our fears, we will find our freedom. Look at our people, look at our country, and we will find so much fear among us, and so much freedom that we need. May we all become free. Magandang gabi po at mabuhay tayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang Pilipino, mabuhay ang kasarilan. Magandang gabi sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cesar Bartolome. And we are definitely inspired by your leadership and commitment to the Filipino-Australian community in New South Wales. Having spent 25 years dedicated to volunteer work, truly amazing. Now that we call on Demi Robinson, the Vice President External PCC New South Wales, to introduce our first guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest speaker is the career officer of the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs. He previously served as the Philippine ambassador to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar and has also served in Philippine Foreign Services posts in Los Angeles, Beijing, Tokyo, Madrid, and Jakarta, Indonesia. Prior to her arrival in Australia, she served as the Assistant Secretary in the Office of ASEAN Affairs, and the Director General of the ASEAN Philippine National Secretariat from 2015 to 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine government awarded our guest speaker in June 2018 the Order of Sikatuna with the rank of Datu Gold Cross for her important role during the Philippine chairmanship of ASEAN. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Dave Tan, PCC Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. The new millennial, the Filipino-Aussie millennial. Honorable Mark Poor, MP Minister for Multiculturalism. Honorable Kevin Glowey, State MP for Riverstone. Mr. Cesar Bartolome, President of the Philippine Community Council, and its officers and members. Ms. Cecilia Flores, President of PhilCA, the national peak body of the Filipino Community Councils in Australia. Mr. Rene Cabrera, President of the Australian-Philippine Business Council, the national peak body of Australia and Philippine businesses in Australia. Consul Manny Guzman, Acting Head of Post of the Philippine Consulate General in Sydney, and Consul Melanie Viano. Leaders and members of the various associations present here tonight, state and local officials from Blacktown and other neighboring city councils. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening. I joined all our kababayan across Australia in celebrating the 124th anniversary of the Declaration of the Independence of the Philippines. This year, the Philippines celebrates the vibrancy of our democracy and the strength of our democratic institutions. The theme of this year's Independence Day is Kalayaan 2022, Pagsuong sa Hamon ng Panibagong Bukas, or in English, Rise Towards the Challenge of a New Beginning. We are indeed opening a new chapter in our history as our country moves forward. Our fellow Filipinos in the Philippines and abroad as they rise from the social and economic effects of the pandemic. The Philippines has completely opened its international borders, welcomed the return of business and tourists, and is successfully adapting to the new normal. In the first quarter of 2022, the Philippine economy grew by 8.3% year-on-year, a significant reversal of the 3.8% contraction in the same period last year. The Philippines has surpassed the pre-pandemic GDP level. Unemployment rate has further declined to 5.8% in March 2022, with employment creation recorded at 4.4 million, which is above the pre-pandemic level. The volume of production, external trade, and remittances have all increased, demonstrating sustained gains from the proactive response the government has undertaken to recover from the pandemic. As the Philippines is not exempt from global challenges, including the rising cost of prices and uncertainties posed by instability in the different parts of the world, we remain cautious and proactive in our policies. We are confident that with the unstinting support of Filipinos all over the world, our country and our people will withstand all storms that may lie ahead and remain united in purpose to bring about just, and comfortable lives for future generations. The Philippine-Australian community makes the historic and dynamic partnership of the Philippines and Australia personal and truly special. At over 200,000 strong, the community has enriched the social and economic fabric of Australia and has propelled the partnership towards new frontiers. The Embassy looks forward to broader people-to-people connections in education, science, technology, and innovation and promotion of our shared maritime heritage. In the last 7 days, and the message is loud and clear, that they welcome the positive contribution that our community is contributing to Australia. So please keep up with this good feedback, and we can only really make this stronger by uniting all community organizations to one vision, to one aspiration, and that is to be a strong pillar for Australia as well. I take that to mean that you agree that the Filipino-Australian community should really be strong, steadfast, and united. I take this opportunity to thank the Filipino-Australian community for demonstrating responsible citizenship at elections held in both your countries this past month. I encourage you to always represent your country and the democratic ideals it has lived by, and to always stand for the truth, no matter how painful it may become. Our history has been tumultuous, but it has brought us this far, and we should never lose sight of the sacrifices that allowed us to enjoy the freedoms we now have. Mabuhay ang pambansang kasatilan, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Wow, what a powerful message. Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Helen de la Vega. I would like to call on Demi Robinson again to introduce our next guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest speaker is the representative of the current New South Wales government. He is a member of the National Legislative Assembly, member of the Oakleigh Inner South Sydney, and he is the Minister for Multiculturalism and also Minister for Seniors. Would you please put your hands together and welcome the Honourable Mark Corey, MP.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honour to be here today, the Philippines National Day Ball. And I want to begin by passing on, firstly acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands in which we meet today, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to obviously acknowledge our wonderful hosts here today from the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales, PCC New South Wales, and the hard-working team behind tonight's event. Thank you to Caesar and to your wonderful team. And I must say, Caesar, I look forward to celebrating at Darling Harbour on the 24th and the 25th of September at Tumbalong Park. And I will say this, it is actually my wedding anniversary on the 24th of September. So I'll say to my lovely wife of 17 years, we're going to Darling Harbour with 1,000 of your friends to celebrate our wedding anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, to Her Excellency Helen de la Vega, Ambassador of the Republic of the Philippines and Australia, to our consuls of the Philippines in Sydney, to Melina and to Emmanuel, to my parliamentary colleague Kevin Conley, the member for Riverstone. There is no other bigger supporter of the Philippine community in the New South Wales Parliament than Kevin Conley. Thank you, Kevin. And of course, I can't forget to mention my very good friend, Stepan Penisarian. Wonderful to have you here tonight too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your warm welcome tonight. And it is a great pleasure to join each and every one of you to celebrate the achievements of the Philippine community here in Australia, and to raise a toast to celebrate and acknowledge 124 is to rise to the challenge of a new beginning. And this evening, we mark that start of a new chapter, a new beginning for the Philippines and its people. We reflect on your journey to becoming a great nation you are today. We also reflect on the Philippine community in New South Wales and the integral role that you play in the success of our great state. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Freedom Ball celebrates the outstanding achievements of PCC New South Wales, who have worked tirelessly for over the past 30 years to support and uplift the Filipino community across New South Wales. And we also take a moment to celebrate what is important to us, our families and our communities. We must also reflect on the journey endured, the hard work we've put in, the sacrifices that have shaped our state's path to excellence. And in doing so, ladies and gentlemen, we recognise how we have continually risen to the challenge and to make sure no one is left behind. During the pandemic over the last 2 years, I want to personally thank, on behalf of the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Dominic Perrottet, and myself, along with Kevin Conley, thank the PCC of New South Wales for their wonderful contribution in helping the community help share vital health messages with members. You have provided masks, food parcels, hot meals, and of course always been there to help others. You helped stranded international students and ensured that your seniors stay connected. Above all, you've shown that you care and wanted to give back to the community. Your diligence, determination and dedication to the betterment of the Filipino community are qualities shared by all in our great multicultural society. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a nation and a state that's probably one of the most multicultural states and nations anywhere in the world. We are a society and a community that speaks over 200 different languages, worshipping and following over 146 different religions. We are a nation of over 300 ancestors. We are a great example of multiculturalism just here in New South Wales and for the rest of the world. And I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank the Philippines in September to celebrate the Philippine community and culture.
Thank you, Honourable Marcus Curry. Please stay on stage for the royal toast to country. And may we please call again Her Excellency Ambassador Helen de la Vega to come back on stage for the royal toast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the loyal toast country.
I was working at
May toast. Yes, yes. No.
To Her Majesty the Queen and Australian people, mabuhay. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the New South Wales Government, I now propose a toast to the Philippines community both here and overseas, in particular the Philippines Community Council of New South Wales, the wider Philippine community of New South Wales. May we continue to prosper in and continue to grow in our harmonious state.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. And thank you, Your Excellency Ambassador Helen de la Vega and Honorable Mark Joseph Curry. Round of applause, everyone. And whilst our mains are being served, we'd like to remind everyone to please buy some raffle tickets for the chance to win any of the following prizes. Starting off with the first prize of the travel voucher worth $1,000 donated by Jerry Neroni, CEO and President of Nutriway.
Yes, of course, and our second prize is cash prize of $800 donated by Rowena Turnbull of
Cesar Bartolome.
Oh, this is getting exciting, guys. And of course, we have a fourth prize, Age Long Health Boost Package, donated by Maureen Santiago of the Ateneo Alumni Association, plus more than 10 consolation prizes. We will also have a silent auction, ladies and gentlemen, and right over there, you will see there will be a table there. Prizes include 2 PAL return tickets to Manila to Sydney, and a Kangen water machine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to also take this opportunity to acknowledge our major and event sponsors. So let's start off with our major sponsors. Thank you so much to Ms. Marta Novus, CEO and President of Q First Property Investment Group and M. Novus Collections.
Also, thank you to the Catholic Cemeteries and Crematoria, Mr. John Dickinson, CCC Community Engagement Officer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our event sponsors, starting with World Remit, Miss Monica Cana, Community Engagement and Events Manager.
We also want to thank INICO, Immigration Consultancy, Miss Kyla Cruz and Miss Joanne De Gracia.
We've also got Cultural Pulse Incorporated, Miss D. Raghaven, Senior Manager Engagement Marketing. She would like to actually greet you all a happy Independence Day.
And we also have Philippine Airlines. So thanks again for your very generous major and event sponsors. And it is now our pleasure to introduce to you the M. Novus Collections Fashion Show.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rod. Now I'm not emceeing tonight. I am here as one of the agents, 60 strong agents of Q First. My role tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is to introduce to you some of the exciting projects that Q First has been embarking on and will embark on. But first things first, who and what is Q First? In Australia, they started in 2017, and from a modest working from home, they opened their first branch office at West Point in 2019. 2019 came, and they opened their second office also in West Point. What does Q First do? Q First is an active real estate, property and investment group that participate in sales and opportunity giving to potential first-time buyers and investors. We provide service within Australia. The only states that we do not service at the moment, but we will, are Northern Territory, Western Australia, and Tasmania. Currently, we have a lot of investment opportunities in prime locations in Queensland, in Victoria, of course in Sydney, in Canberra, and more importantly, at very affordable prices in South Australia. We offer land and house packages for very simple, very low budget, 500,000 or less. Of course, conditions apply. We also have promotional deal like $1,000 deposit, and you can own your first property. Again, conditions apply. How do you avail of this? Come to one of our 3 offices. West Point, Blacktown. We opened recently in Castle Towers, and of course in Narellan, Town Center. We have, like I said, 60 or so agents that are ready, willing to give you advice on your first property or on your investments. Who is Marites Novis? Marites Novis, ladies and gentlemen, has been voted outstanding businesswoman for Blacktown. Yes. I think she deserves a big round of applause. It's a reverse in this case. We have a very successful wife, is a duty-bound, dutiful other half. Well, do not discount the husband, because the husband is an engineer, he's a designer, and he's a builder. So when Marites go around socialize, entice you to buy property, it is actually the husband that puts it all together behind the scenes, and she's happy like that. One of the other passions of Marites is fashion. Yesterday, we opened, and for the benefit of the ambassador, we opened our 2nd branch store of M. Novis. What is M. Novis? It's a boutique that sells females and women's clothing. Eventually, she will embark on men's clothing as well. Who does she support? She supports camiseta, she supports paints and prints, and her own label, which is M. Novis. It's important for you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that the reason she is promoting mainly imported clothing from the Philippines is because she is helping the small manufacturers and makers and the workers of these organizations and factories in the Philippines. And I think that deserves a big round of applause. So if you want to see us, we are open 7 days. We are open from 9 to 5, Thursdays extended hours. As I said, in West Point, in Castle Towers, and of course, Narellan Town Center. Eventually, she will be opening in other places as well, so watch out. But M. Novis, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you now a very exciting part of this evening. One of our fashions, the M. Novis collection. Music, please. So this is Tanya Sripata. She is Mrs. Universe Thailand 2022, ladies and gentlemen, wearing an M. Novis original. On the left is Miss Tanaya Javier, Mrs. Universe Australia Central 2022, and on the right is Mrs. Joanna Gunay. And here are our regular models at M. Novis. So this is part of the collection of M. Novis. These are available now in Blacktown, West Point, and also in Castle Towers. These are haute couture. They are one of a kind in various colors. Would you please give our models? Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, BC, choreography. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I did mention about Mrs. Universe. May I call on the lady that needs no introduction? She is currently the founder and the CEO of Mrs. Universe Australia, Mary Rose Salubre. Mary Rose.
Thank you and good evening everyone. Are you guys having a good time? Gutom pa yata kayo eh. Well, thank you Ron. Happy Independence Day everybody. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Okay, so how exciting, Mrs. Universe official. Well, I started the pageantry in 2014. Started with Australasia official. Now, we have built 2 huge classrooms in Leyte, from the kindergarten to high school. We in fact help East Timor orphanage. We also have a project in Marindoke. Yes, after you're there. Kindergarten as well as multi-purpose. We also are going to finish a project, a parish church in Pampanga. We are now in collaboration with the Leyte government because we want to help the landslide. Have you guys heard suburb, barangay, that's been wiped out? At least 70%. Some of those children doesn't even have parents. Now Mrs. Universe official is in collaboration with that particular project. Imagine that. From 2014 to 2022, we are now Mrs. Universe official. And I would like to announce the new National Director and franchise of Australia, no other than Marites M. Noves. Could you please come upstairs here, Marites? Where are you?
So this explains why we have 3 participants in modeling for Mrs. Universe, because this is going to be the new exciting project of our boss.
Anyway, Mrs. Universe official takes place in the Philippines, Resource World, from October 3 to October 10. You guys do not confuse, there are some other people out there who are using Mrs. Universe Australia, which is in fact, I have Mrs. Universe Australia, and Mrs. Universe official under my own name. So don't get confused, okay? So welcome and congratulations, sister.
Thank you, Lord. First of all, thank you so much for inviting us here and to be for giving us the opportunity to be the major sponsor of this respected event. Taking part in this celebration further ignites the passion within me to raise a louder voice for awareness of the advocacies we stand for. I've decided to launch Mrs. Universe franchise here in this respected event to give a sense of purpose. Being able to work in the real-estate field as well as the industrial fashion and pageantry gratefully gives me a wider platform to stand for what I believe in, that everyone deserves a place they can call home. A house that isn't simply a place for refuge, but a place of comfort and freedom to feel, express, and have a real sense of self. Everyone in our world deserves a place they can call their own. Put a roof over their heads and guide them into standing on their feet. So from the bottom of my grateful heart, thank you for having us here, and may we all find the strength to stand for our passion and translate it into a helping hand to those in need, especially sa bayan ko, Pilipinas. Mabuhay tayo lahat.
Thank you, Marites, and thank you, PCC New South Wales. And I would just would like to announce that ASCO 23-24 September, you first will be there again to support that event. All right, so thank you, Albi, for my beautiful outfit. Thank you so much. Sorry. I know I forgot something. Well, talking of the Mrs. Universe, may I introduce to you the 3 finalists for 2023 and Mrs. Universe, which is going to be happening next year. We have 3 finalists. The first one is Nika. She's followed by Nikita. And last but not the least, Apollyon. So these are Mrs. and they're the finalists for the Mrs. Universe 2023. So watch for more announcements for this pageant coming up. Of course, major sponsored by First and Ecologists. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you.
And at this point, we'd also like to acknowledge one of our event sponsors, the area manager of Philippine Airlines, Cristel Ramirez Castro.
Ladies and gentlemen, to further inspire us tonight, please allow me to introduce our next performer, Makisig Morales, began his career as a child performer and singer in the Philippines and later played the lead role in the international Emmy-nominated fantaserie Super Ingo. His singing career continues in Sydney, sharing his God-given talent and doing more for the community, highlighted by the recent 2 sold-out shows in Liverpool and Norwest and Sydney. Please join me in welcoming Makisig on stage.
Hello everyone! Maligayang araw ng kalayaan po sa ating lahat. If you know this song, guys, sing along with me. Sa habang buhay, makapinang makasama ka, yan ang panalangin ko. At hindi papayag ang pusong ito mawala sa aking piling. Mahal ko iyong piling. Wala nang iba tamis na dulot ng pag-ibig nating dalawa. At sana naman makikinig ka pagkat aking sasabihin, minamahal kita. At hindi babalik ang puso ito mawala sa aking piling. Mahal ko iyong piling. Wala nang iba kung mas mahalaga naman medyo laid back din and it's reggae. So, sabay ko na ako. Let's enjoy the show, guys. Let's enjoy the show. Let's go. Di ko nais na magkalayuan ang selos ka at nilayuan ko. Paano ba? Kahit na ano pa ang iyong gusto.
Bantayan lagi din.
Okay lang basta't magkabati tayo. Minamahal kita, hihintayin kita. Sorry na, pwede ba? Buhay ko'y nasa iyo. Matitis mo ba ako, baby? Wag sanang magtanto. Sorry, pwede ba? Kahit na ano ang iyong gusto, okay lang basta magkabati tayo. Minamahal kita, hihintayin kita. Sorry na, pwede ba? Buhay ko'y nasa iyo. Matitis mo ba ako, baby? Wag sanang magtanto. Sorry, pwede ba? Buhay ko'y nasa iyo. Matitis mo ba ako, baby? Wag sanang magtanto. Sorry, pwede ba? Sorry, pwede ba? Oh yeah, sorry, pwede ba? Song, pero sa mga lahat po na hindi ko makain, feel free to dance with me here in the front. Music please. Let's go, Jesus, if you dance. Let's go! Celebrate good times, come on. Hey! Celebrate good times, come on. Come on, everybody. There's a party going on right here.
Come on, ladies, come on.
So keep your good times and your laughter too. Yeah, are you ready to come? Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the celebration. Alright, yeah, a dedication that lasts throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate our party with you. Come on, celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. Let's go! It's time to come together. Hey! Let's go, beautiful people! It's a celebration. Hey! Celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on! Celebrate good times. Come on! Good time. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Come on, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We celebrate. It's alright. Come on, we're gonna have a good time tonight. It's okay. It's alright. Let's go. We're gonna have a good time tonight. It's celebrate. It's alright. Let's go. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. 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 Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on. Thank you so much. Happy. I don't know the guys after that. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you beautiful people. Love you all.
Na YouTube live ka na Len. Yung YouTube live, ladies. Enjoy the YouTube, huh?
Thanks again, PC, and obviously thanks so much for everyone for joining in. I don't know what you guys feel, but I grew up, even though I'm older than PC, I've actually growing up, we president for the presentation of PCC's former presidents.
Thank you, Mayor and Inaki. Let me touch a breather. The Philippine Community Council of New South Wales, in its 32 years of existence as a big body, has been led by 19 of the community's capable leaders. As the chairperson of the advisory committee, composed of past presidents of PCC, it is my great honor and privilege to present them before you tonight.
Pupunta ako, tingnan mo doon.
Unfortunately, some of them could not be with us on this occasion.
Few seconds lang.
Let me just grab a souvenir program.
So galing.
That was from the dancing, too much dancing. Ladies and gentlemen, the first president of PCC, 1990 to 1992, Blacktown Councillor Jess Diaz, 1993, Manny Giel, 1994 to 1997, 2003, 2004, 2016, Kate Andres, can you please come to the front? 1998 to 1999, Dick De Vera, 2000, 2001, Lolita Farmer, OAN deceased, 2002, Malin Andres June, 2005, Nerda Soliman. 2006, Jimmy Lopez. 2007, Rowena Morris. 2008, Campbelltown Councillor Ray Manoto. 2009, Ronaldo Villaver. 2013, Elsa Colado. 2011, Marivic Manalo. 2012, Atoy Sayas. 2014, Jose Renuña Jr. 2015, Evelyn B. 2017, 2018, Serna Laja. And finally, 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for PCC's former presidents.
Thank you so much to our former presidents of PCC, and also thank you so much, Alric. Our next performer is one of our favorite entertainers in Sydney. You guys ready? Oh, I'm ready. Fasika was a finalist in The Voice Australia Season 6, where she performed alongside Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland. Her mother is a Filipina, originally from Baguio. She now continues to perform around Australia professionally while she is currently finishing her law degree and soon releasing her debut music. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fasika!
Nasa'yo yung
It's such an honor to be performing at the Independence Day Ball. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jessica, and I am half Filipino and my mother is Filipino, so it's an honor to be here. I hope you guys enjoy this next one.
My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, at last the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in the words. The night that I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I
Oh my lord.
The next Sayona.
He's in love, sorry guys.
Something boy. Please. Thank you so much, Jessica. I always. Sorry, lost words.
Great.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Acknowledgement, great.
At this point, may I invite Ms. Grace Liston, Vice President of Internal PCC, New South Wales, and Philippine National Day Board Event Chair, for the acknowledgement. A round of applause for Ms. Grace Liston.
On behalf of the Philippine Community Council of New South Wales, I would like to express our sincerest gratitude first and foremost to our affiliates for your continued and steadfast support for the Philippines. I would also like to thank our guest speakers, Her Excellency Ambassador Maria Helena de la Vega, and the Honorable Mark Tui MP for their inspirational message tonight. Our deepest appreciation as well to all our guests and supporters and friends of BCC for your invaluable presence on the significant occasion. To our exciting lot of performers, Julian Claire Sibala, Julian Johnston, Nicole Carabasis, Marisi Morales, Pasita Ayala, the Cordillera Dancers,
Philippine dance ensemble, awesome dancers, and to our magnificent, massive, melody and music. Our hats off to you all for a highly entertaining and splendid performance. To our Rigodon this year's PNO would not have been made possible without the crucial support of our major sponsors. Q First Property Investment Group and the Catholic Cemeteries Crematoria. Our event sponsors World Remit, Imico Consulting, Cultural Halls, and Philippine Airlines. Also our advertisers in Bulgaria, Abaneco, Ella Cosinera, Home Caring Telewatts, Nutreway, Kanjan Water, Melbourne City Apartments, Pacific Apology, Creative Travel, Philippine Community Herald, Vestida and Baron Australia, Maurice Choice, Jesserans and Associates, Cecilia Patton, and all our patrons. Thank you, everyone. We hope you all have a gorgeous time as we bring you tonight's highlight, the Rigodon. Happy dancing, everyone.
I think this is already live. Just need to. Thank you, Grace. It is my pleasure to introduce this evening the Rigodon, also called Rigodon de Honor. It is a traditional formal dance from the Philippines that evolved from dances brought by Spanish settlers in the 16th century. The steps of the Rigodon are meant to be performed gracefully and elegantly, with each pair of participants wearing their best barongs and ternos. The couples who will be performing the Rigodon are PCC New South Wales officers and representatives of the affiliates. Let's welcome Alice Tayaban and Gary Roche.
Mary Nabuna and Randy Nabuna.
Ellen Padilla and Manny Padilla.
Monique Resinar and Joseph Ayala. Rowena Turnbull.
Happy McLevin, Arnold Polanco.
Emily Rod. Emily Rudd and Peter Rudd.
Connie Ramsey and Mark Tierney.
Annie Gonzalez and Jojo Sebastian.
Cora Mitchell and Ross Morado.
Melanie Mendoza and Ricky Mendoza.
Mercy Jones and Will Santana.
Alice Martin, and James Rahman.
Kenny Perfecto and Dante Santiago. Maureen Santiago and Gerald Santiago.
Nelson Colado and Ed Alcordo.
Irene Villamar and Ulrich Joseco.
Grace Bisman and Ronaldo Villavera.
Sammy Robinson and Les Strong.
SP Poson and Cesar Bartolome.
higit na ang Pilipinas, sa lungkot man o sa ligaya, tayo mo sa lahat ng saya. Sa gitna man ang kahirapan, ay sigla ka rin ulit. Pilipina ay Diyos sa pag-ibig ay hirang sinumpahit ang tunay. Puso mo ay pinipot, parang nalang at nagmamahal ay mutya. Iyaman ka sa buhay, di mo ka ay ibuka. Kung bandang pag-uusapan ay higit na ang Pilipinas, sa lungkot man o sa liwanag, tayo sa lahat na saya. Sa gitna man ang kahirapan, ay sigla ka rin ang Pilipinas, Pilipina ay hirang sinumpahit ang tunay. Puso mo ay ginto, ang harap ng bawat nagmamahal ay mutya. Yaman ka sa buhay, di na ka ay bukya. Kung ganda ang pag-uusapan ay higit na ang Pilipinas, sa lungkot man o sa liwanag, tayo sa lahat na saya. Sa gitna man ang kahirapan, may sigla pa rin ang Pilipinas, Pilipina ay Diyos sa pag-ibig ay hirang sinumpahit ang tunay. Puso mo ay ginto, parang nalang ng bawat nagmamahal ay mutya. Yaman ka sa buhay, di na ka ay ibuka, at di ka nagtagpuan.
Thank you so much, PCC New South Wales officers and representing the affiliates. Hooray indeed!
Ladies and gentlemen, before we open the dance floor, we would like to again remind everyone to make sure you buy your raffle tickets and give yourself a good chance to win any of the following. First prize is our travel voucher worth $1,000 donated by Jerry Barone, CEO and President of NutriWay.
And we have an $800 cash prize donated by Rowena Zergo of Abanico for a second prize.
And our third prize, ladies and gentlemen,
Package donated by Maureen Santiago of the Ateneo Alumni Association. Plus, of course, don't forget, we have 10 more consolation prizes to be given away. So now, everyone, if I can get your attention for a little bit, we would like to invite all of you to join our live band tonight and take your place on the dance floor. Let's just, signify joy and celebration and to commemorating what we're celebrating, which is the Philippine Independence Day.
yes, let's